This is Project Zomboid's new build 42, adding animals, new towns, new lighting system, underground locations, high-rise buildings, new animations, and more. We're going to explore all the new features to see how much the game has actually changed. Right from the start, you can see the new map, Echo Creek being a new starting location. To the south, you can find Irvington, and to the north, Brandenburg. My plan is to go and check out Brandenburg. I began in the nearest town, Riverside. First thing I noticed was the new 3D animated doors when opening or closing them. After grabbing a knife from the kitchen, I realized I had an ID card and a pistol with me right from the start. In the bedroom, I stumbled upon a brochure about baseball. I was able to actually see the content in it. Not only that, but it also revealed the location of that specific point of interest in my map. Taking a look through the window, I saw the undead. This home would serve as my temporary base. Having closed all the curtains, I went outside. Another thing changed in this update was the stealth system. It was a more feasible tactic than before. I wasn't sure if the Zeds saw me. I could hear their growl from the other side. Looking through the house, I found some new items: canoe paddle and a baseball catcher vest. Good to have a two-handed weapon. After grabbing some tweezers from the bathroom, I realized I wasn't alone. I was afraid the noise could have attracted others, but it seemed I was safe for the moment. Then it hit me. The zombies' clothes were all over the floor, underwear laying on the bed. These were two lovers that died together, and now the room was plastered with their blood. Scenes like this, with the story behind them, were more frequent to find now. Looting the rest of the house, I got a bottle opener in the kitchen, grabbed some food from the fridge, couple glasses of water, and took some curtains with me to bring them to my safe house. Before leaving, I found a magazine about how to use generators. Then, when I went to the bathroom and closed the door, I found myself in complete darkness. Pitch black. This was the new lighting system. With the curtains and door closed and lights turned off, I couldn't see a thing. Even when I tried to read the magazine, I wasn't able to because it was too dark. Back in my house, I put curtains over the doors. Again, the kitchen got really dark because of this. Had to turn on the lights to see. Same thing with every other room. I put the food in the fridge and went out to check some cars. Had to fight a couple undead. One of them had some scissors. This would be really important later. Crafting system was revamped too. After grabbing a wristwatch from another zombie, I got inside a car. Found some matches and a tape. The noise seemed to have brought the attention of more walkers. I checked the conditions of the vehicles, trying to find one with some gasoline in it. First two had nothing, but thirst times the charm. This one had gas, but was missing a tire. Next to the car, there was a brand new tire and some tools. I grabbed everything and tried installing it, failing the first time, but succeeding in the second try. I grabbed a garbage bag from the trunk and found some things inside the car. A walkie-talkie was one of them. Then I tried hot wiring the car. Took a few tries, but I did it. I officially had a vehicle. The noise seemed to have attracted a few Zeds, and I wasn't in the best shape to fight them. I also were encumbered and hungry. My hits were slow, but I managed to kill them. I put some of my stuff inside the trunk, specifically inside a sack for quick retrieval. Back home, I had something to eat and sat down on a chair, which had no animations before the update. Now, it was possible to sit at every angle. Opening the map, I marked my home base and made a cross to the place I looted. Besides the car, I needed something better than a garbage bag to store my loot. Thankfully, crossing the street, I saw a group of zombies. One of them had a backpack. I tried attracting them one by one, taking them down silently. My knife broke while trying to get the last one of them, but I managed to succeed and grab the backpack. Next, I got inside one of the stores. Seeing the different lights between the darkness gave everything such an eerie atmosphere. If the power goes out, exploring the night would be a death sentence without a flashlight. I took some bottles and went back home. Another new thing in this update was the liquid system. For example, I could grab a beer bottle and choose the exact quantity of liquid I wanted to transfer to another container. But that wasn't all. It was also possible to mix liquids. Putting water inside a bottle with beer gave you a water and beer bottle. Going to one of the cars to siphon some gasoline, I realized it required a hose to be able to do that. If I wanted to use this car, I needed to get to the gas station. Exploring the rest of the stores, I found myself having a hard time looting because of the darkness. At times, it was so dark that I couldn't even find the light switch. After grabbing some food in the kitchen, I found another brochure. This one was about the West Maple Country Club. Got its location on my map now. Last place I looted was the VHS store, where I grabbed tons of tapes and some magazines. The place had a small office in the back. I liked how the lamp was the only thing preventing this room from being pitch black. I could even hear the buzzing. It's cozy. I went back to my place and put on a Woodcraft VHS to fight the boredom and to get some carpentry XP. This attracted some attention. Another new feature in this update were the new animations when dragging corpses. This came with some risks. It left me vulnerable to attacks from the back. One small mistake. That's all it takes. Thankfully, this was just a scratch, not a bite. But that didn't mean I was safe yet. There was a small chance to have the virus. I cleaned the t-shirt and ripped it into rags to use as bandages for my wound. Starving, I rested in a chair to eat some food. I needed to reach a gas station to prepare for Brandenburg. Getting in the car, I drove around town until I found the station. It was absolutely packed to the brim of zombies. I tried luring them away from it and circled around the place. I even got out of my car and went to fill it with gas, but got on the wrong side. I had to escape before getting surrounded. Driving to the police station, I realized I was about to run out of gas completely. Quickly, I checked the van that was parked there. It had a tiny bit of gasoline, but not much. I was tired, in pain, and the horde was coming at me. I got in my car and drove back home. I was scared to have lured them to my home. I circled around, entering through the other door, and waited. It seemed safe. I drank some water and went to sleep. Day 3. I could hear their growling behind the door. I ate an apple I had stored in my backpack and then checked my wound. It was still bad. I left the rest of my rags in the car. I needed to get out. Again, one small mistake. Now I had a broken window and my base was compromised. Once I took care of all the undead, I went back to my car to look for more rags. With my wound bandaged, I needed to find a way to get to the gas station safely. I started clearing the nearby streets, making a safe path, one step at a time. I had to take things carefully. Knowing how to fight was as important as to know when to stop. Sometimes hard work pays off. Going east, I saw a lot of parked vehicles. Making my way there, my weapon broke. Again, revealing another new system in this update. Instead of losing the canoe paddle completely, the broken handle remained in my hand, which I was able to use to finish off the rest of the undead. This was connected to the revamped crafting system, which I hadn't even touched yet. After grabbing a small knife from one of the corpses, I went to check every single parked car. It seemed I was out of luck, until I found a van in almost perfect condition and with lots of gasoline. This was exactly what I needed. The bad news was that all the doors were locked. I smashed the right window to get inside and hotwired the car. Everything seemed great, besides one thing. This beeping noise could bring me trouble in the future. Nonetheless, it would do for now. I drove the van back home and parked it next to my old car, transferring everything from one trunk to the other. In the process, the stick I was using as a weapon broke, and soon after, my knife too. I had nothing left to defend myself. Back at the safe house, after putting some food in the oven, I realized that the water services were shut off. Already, the context menu indicated there was a limited amount of water left in the sink. Things were already getting complicated. Before departing to Brandenburg, I wanted to find a weapon and more provisions for the road. First house I checked had a baseball bat on a shelf, even some boxing gloves. Using these would cause slower inventory item transfer between other debuffs, so I unequipped them for the moment. After taking anything edible from the kitchen, I went to the second house, where I dealt with a cut of zombies and looted a duffel bag. Things were looking better. My heart almost skipped a beat. How did it even get here? I grabbed some more food and some tools that I found on another shelf. Drills, shears, hammer, shovel, even a vehicle key. Taking a look inside the car, I saw a new brochure. It was for a dining place in the woods. New map location unlocked. Last house I checked had a frying pan and some more food. It was nighttime. Back at my place, I looked at another flyer I grabbed from a mailbox. It was for a Mexican food place, Taco del Pancho, located in Louisville. Tomorrow was a big day. I made sure to have a good rest. Unfortunately, I woke up at 4 in the morning, trembling. My heart was pounding. I had a nightmare, probably because of the trip ahead. I put all the food in a bag to have it all in one place, filled some bottles with water, and moved all of my stuff to the trunk of the van. I started getting drowsy again. I couldn't drive like this. It was too risky. I decided to set an alarm on my digital watch and had a nap for a few hours. Now I was ready to head off. Exploring a workshop nearby, I found a good amount of tools and materials. To my surprise, the workstation was also functional. It opened up a window that allowed me to cut different things, from metal sheets to tires and iron bars. Exploring the place further, I grabbed the gardening book, some knee pads, which I also equipped, and even stumbled upon a bent anvil. It was super heavy. Didn't know how to use it. I decided to leave it there and mark this place in my map to come back in the future. There was a house next to the barn, but it seemed to have been overrun by zombies. Windows were broken. I decided to get back to the van and continue my trip to Brandenburg. The journey was not simple. First, I stumbled upon a big group of undead in my path. Then, as I kept advancing, car crashes were blocking my way, making it difficult to get through. Not a good sign. After a while, I seemed to be closer. Drove past the general store, surrounded by sets. As if it wasn't enough, darkness was approaching. I was feeling drowsy. Thankfully, I managed to find a house that seemed safe to spend the night. After cleaning the front yard, I tried opening the door, but it was locked. I even failed trying to force the front window open. Not only that, but I could hear a faint growl of a zombie nearby. I couldn't see a thing. The outdoor lamp was the only light source helping me to see. The rest was pitch black. I managed to open another window. I was too scared to open another door. I slept on the couch. Day 5. Now, with the daylight on my side, I checked the rest of the rooms, dealing with the zombie in the bathroom and another one laying on the outside of the house. After eating some food, I resumed my trip. While driving, I stumbled upon a barricaded house, infested with walkers. I marked it on my map to come back in the future. Unsure if I was going in the right direction, I kept pushing until I finally found the town. This was much worse than I thought, and it was only the beginning.